Good, Yellowstone family, might you at any point accept we're at last here? The finale of Yellowstone Season 5 is not far off, and try to keep your hat on. Episode 14 is turning out to be a wild ride. This isn't just about wrapping up last details, it's tied in with conveying the most serious, close to home, and stunning minutes we've seen at this point. Essentially, that is the thing I'm expecting. So snatch your popcorn, since we're plunging into how we'll close the Yellowstone section for good. Most importantly, we should discuss Jamie Dutton, in light of the fact that this is the last time we will see him of all time. I may be way off track, yet I feel like assuming that there's one person who's been causing his own downfall since the very first moment. It's Jamie. Throughout the long term, we've watched him change from a frantic, humble legal counselor into an eager for power political player. And keeping in mind that he's had his minutes, can we just be real, a large portion of his decisions have been debacles in the works. That is to say, this person can't settle on a decent choice throughout everyday life. It's like he's reviled or something like that. From selling out John to conspiring against Beth, Jamie's been severing ties quicker than I can count, and truly, go ahead and battle me in the remarks. However, as of now, I'm happy he's leaving the establishment. Here is the kicker: Jamie figured he could outmaneuver Beth's serious mix-up. Immense misstep, truth be told. This season, Beth has made it her main goal to destroy Jamie's life piece by piece, and she's holding off on halting until he's good and gone forever. In all honesty, feeling awful for the guy is hard. Do you actually feel frustrated about Jamie? Do you actually pull for him? I can hardly hold back to hear your contemplations about it. Yet, as far as I might be concerned, Jamie's treachery of the family heritage, particularly selling out to market values, was the last nail in the casket. He's pushed into a tight spot now, with his vocation wrecked and his own life shredded. How about Jamie have made something happen, assuming that he'd settled on various decisions? Tell me in the remarks. Obviously, Beth and Jamie's relationship has forever been a liability, yet what might be said about Tyr? Not at all like Beth, Tyr doesn't wear his disdain for Jamie on his sleeve. All things considered, he's been the calm tempest, remaining close by and letting her lead the charge against Jamie. Their common hatred for him has made a tough bond without a doubt, but at the same time it's caused Jamie's destruction to feel inescapable. Thus, in the Yellowstone finale, we won't see Beth battling against Jamie alone. All things being equal, we'll see her close by Tyr as they demonstrate by and by that they are a definitive power couple. We as a whole realize that Beth's disdain comes from perhaps of the most unfortunate treachery in the show: Jamie's choice to have her cleaned without her assent. Obviously, it's not something you return from. Tyr, in the interim, sees Jamie as a danger to the family he's committed to safeguard, which is all that could possibly be needed for him to dispose of Jamie. In this way, together, Beth and Tyr have turned into a relentless power, prepared to take the necessary steps to end Jamie's rule of obliteration. Presently, we should get to the succulent part, which is essentially Jamie's last minutes. Episode 14 vows to be downright hazardous, with Jamie's passing probably filling in as a definitive peak. Rumors from far and wide suggest that Beth and Tyr will catch Jamie during John Dutton's burial service, transforming what ought to be a snapshot of grieving into a scene of unadulterated retribution. Furthermore, indeed, I for one can hardly hang tight for it. They will cause us to understand that Beth isn't barely out for vengeance, she needs to completely delete Jamie's impact. Also, Tyr? He's prepared to step into John's perspective, assuming control and conveying equity Dutton style. Thus, an extremely unforgiving episode is standing by. Jamie's last minutes will be more than startling. The possibility of Jamie being tormented before his demise is chilling, without a doubt, yet I feel like it's likewise fitting, given the way he's picked. Do you suppose Jamie merits reclamation, or is this the main way his story could end? Drop your considerations in the remarks underneath. Talking about John's memorial service, prepare yourselves. This will be quite possibly of the most close-to-home crossroads in Yellowstone history. On the off chance that you're not in the crying state of mind, then, at that point, you better avoid the episode altogether, since it will be difficult to keep the destroys. We as a whole realize that John's passing imprints the conclusion of a significant time period for the Dutton family, yet for the actual farm. In a move that is essentially disastrous, the Yellowstone farm will be given over to the booking. This satisfies the prescience spread out in 1883, taking the land back to its unique stewards after 7 ages. Furthermore, indeed, it will be exceptionally close to home for the two sides, compelling us to identify with everybody. Here's where things get fascinating. Tate, Casey's child, will acquire what's left of the Dutton inheritance. As the extension between the Duttons and the booking, Tate represents a fresh start. Watching Beth and Casey arrange this move makes certain to be a tragedy, yet it likewise leaves us with a hint of something to look forward to. What do you believe Tate's job will be coming soon for the Yellowstone universe? Share your considerations beneath. As though this show wasn't sufficient, there's as yet Jamie's child to consider. Quite possibly of the most captivating turn in episode 14 is the way that Beth and Tyr will take on Jamie's kid. By all accounts, it could appear to be a demonstration of kindness, yet entirely we should be genuine. This is tied in with revising Jamie's heritage based on their conditions. By bringing up his child, Beth guarantees that Jamie's name is eradicated from the family's future. For Tyr, it's an opportunity to become the mentor he never had, carrying a feeling of reclamation to his own upset past. How about Beth and Tyr give Jamie's child a superior life, or will the shadow of his dad's activities generally loom over him? I can hardly hold on to hear your hypotheses about it. By the day's end, I feel like Jamie's ruin is completely his own doing. I couldn't say whether you all concur, yet to personal, on numerous occasions, he's picked aspiration over dedication, treachery over family. From agreeing with market values to plotting against John and Beth, Jamie's choices have estranged him from each and every individual who once thought often about him. His demise will be heartbreaking without a doubt, but at the same time it's the regular decision to a story characterized by disloyalty and implosion. At the end of the day, by what other means might this story at any point end? For additional week after week refreshes on the Yellowstone establishment, try to like and follow. In the meantime, the video on the screen could intrigue you.